So you're faced with no TikTok? Well, jump elsewhere. TikTok users in the U.S. are flocking to alternatives amid the prospect of the app being banned in the country within a matter of days. Another Chinese platform called Xiaohongshu, known as Red Note in English, has claimed the top spot on Apple's App Store in the United States since its debut about a decade ago. Red Note has grown in popularity in China. The company is said to be valued about $3 billion. Now, on January 19th, the U.S. Supreme Court is expected to possibly decide on if it should uphold a law that bans TikTok over national security concerns, unless its Chinese parent company sells that platform. TikTok's revenue here in the U.S. hit over $15 billion last year, and a growing part of that was down to something called TikTok Shop. TikTok Shop allows merchants to sell directly to TikTok users with options to buy directly from influencers without ever leaving the app. Since its U.S. launch in September of 2023, TikTok Shop has become a major force in e-commerce. TikTok Shop also reported a 165% increase in shoppers year over year this past holiday season. Okay, joining us to talk more about the future of live stream shopping, Michael Preen. He is the founder and CEO of Modern Impact. Michael, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Let's talk a bit about the TikTok Shop and the impact it's had on the U.S. e-commerce landscape and live streaming industry since its launch. Can you expand on that, man? Because that growth is just exponential and amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the consumer sentiment is that for social shopping and social platforms, the TikTok algorithm is what brings content to them in the most relevant form. And I would say that consumer sentiment says that, the TikTok platform is more efficient than that over Meta and Meta's platforms. So I think that's why you've seen such a rapid adoption around their social shopping and why it's leading. And on top of that, part of those are anthropological behavior habits that make the shopping on these platforms very easy.
Okay, so one, you don't have to be a genius to realize if they're going to ban TikTok and TikTok Shop, it seems like it could have just a chilling effect on small businesses and creators who have grown to rely on this for revenue.
Yeah, that's very true. There has been a rapid adoption since COVID onto TikTok, and their ad model has rapidly matured. So it's not just small and medium-sized business, but a lot of source and origin of new products and services we find through these social platforms. So that's probably part of the risk, on top of it just being the revenue associated with small and medium business. So the platform does provide quite a bit of access for people that genuinely on other places and markets don't have access to.
So, Michael, I think history has shown if there is indeed going to be a vacuum in something like this, there's always a competitor waiting in the wings or somebody working on something like this that could really affect live streaming and e-commerce, such as Amazon Live, Instagram Shops. Is there anything like that out there right now?
I mean, there is on even the Meta platform with Instagram shopping now. Is it as mature as TikTok? That's a debatable question. And you got to look, and you can't exclude the Google platform too, which is, some of the early dominant players within social platforms. If you look at right now, there's been a quick rise, not only in Red Note, but also things like Lemonade. So those ironically are both also Chinese platforms as well. So where the consumers go is also tied rapidly to where the user base and subscribers are moving and downloads on these platforms happen to be.
In China, live stream shopping is just huge. Has there been a cultural or technological shift here in the United States that is driving the popularity of live stream shopping?
Well, I absolutely think there is, right? We are, whether we like it or not, there's a lot of research around the psychology of comparison theory, et cetera, and we are heavily influenced by others. And now that influence doesn't always happen in real life, it happens on these platforms. So it's very natural integration into the shopping components to happen there. It's also very easy, with the downloaded app and in agreement with payments inside of our operating systems, the ability to purchase and check out is smooth, efficient, and fast. So it's very easy to see why these things have rapidly adopted. But, if TikTok is in fact something that is no longer going to be supported by these operating systems, there will in fact be others that quickly fill that void. Yeah. It's just a fact.
You know, and also next week, Donald Trump is going to be president, and whether people like him or not, he's a businessman at heart, and he's made it clear that, you know, maybe TikTok should hang around. He could have a great deal of influence on this. What do you think streamers and other influencers are thinking about that? Do they want Trump to step in at the 11th hour?
You know, like it or not, you know, many people refer to Donald Trump as always a wild card. But if we go back and we look at his first term and use that as an indicator to what choices might happen, even though he has publicly said he's not all for, you know, an outright ban, he definitely has data and national security concerns. You know, if you go back and you look at how the 5G rollout and how he dealt with that, I think there are some examples for us to take a look at. I don't think he would just open the door and say, okay, we're going to do nothing and allow it to move forward. You know, he is the one historically during his first term that also suggested that a ByteDance sale would need to happen in order to satisfy national security concerns.
Yeah, ByteDance, of course, is the parent company in China of TikTok. So let's talk a bit about the broader implications for social commerce in the United States if TikTok Shop and other similar platforms face this regulatory challenge. What could it do?
Well, you know, you have rapidly growing US-based platforms, things like Whatnot, et cetera. Now, they're not always dealing with, you know, new type commerce. They're often geared towards like collectors, et cetera. But the mobile, you know, mobile and social shopping is not going to slow down. So I think if we look at what happens, you'll see product roadmaps and competitors with their platforms quickly try to fill the void and come to market quickly with their product expansions and new releases to fill this need and desire.
You know, Michael, I cannot thank you enough. You've given us great insight and great time. I certainly appreciate everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you.